Targum Pseudo-Jonathan, Genesis 1:27, the third part. Let's use this video to talk about some textual items before we move on, starting with this number. It's 665. Now, in the Editio Princeps and the London manuscript, there's this number. So all of our extant witnesses to the text have this number. However, Etheridge's translation from 1862 instead lists 365 for this number, which is, of course, the number of days in the year, and also, coincidentally, the number of negative commands in the Torah. So before we had 248 members, and now we have 365 sinews, or nerves. 248 was the number of positive commands in the Torah. Johann Cook's article on this subject is interesting. He asserts that Targum Pseudo-Jonathan reflects Rabbinic Judaism's view that the human being is created perfect and is capable of doing good, much as the Torah is completely good because it is perfect. And this is in opposition to the Christian view of original sin, which is that human beings have a sinful nature and therefore are incapable on their own of doing good. Interesting. Let's look at this word. We have a conjunction and a determined state ending. Adam. What relationship does it have with Adam's name, Adam? Well, this is a parallel vocabulary item to dam, which we're familiar with as a word for blood that appears 28 times in Targum Pseudo-Jonathan. However, this term, Adam, for blood, appears 164 times. It looks like what's happening is this is a borrowing from Jewish Palestinian Aramaic. So just as we had seen grammar and syntax crossover to late Jewish literary Aramaic, here we're seeing a vocabulary item come from Jewish Palestinian Aramaic that did not formerly exist in Jewish literary Aramaic. And then finally, we have these items: sinews, a verb for cover, and skin. This reminds us of Ezekiel 37:6. And of course, I'm referring to Targum Jonathan, so we have a direct parallel with Aramaic. This has to do with the resurrection of the dry bones army, and they're being assembled from the inside with their sinews, and then they were covered with skin. So these three items are interesting to see here in the creation account when they would be seen later in the canon for the assembly of the resurrected body of Israel. So let's continue reading in Genesis 1:28.